Now, my Facebook family, how is everyone? Kevin Dwyer in the place, also known as Mr. One Step, coming back with another live masterclass, telling you lots of fun facts today, but giving you strategies that are going to help you develop and increase your lead generation and ensure that you guys are producing productive results. So, what I want to talk to you about today is LinkedIn and the power of LinkedIn. Why LinkedIn is turned into an absolute lead magnet. How you do so, how you utilize it for the producing incredible results. And I want to go for a number of different parts of LinkedIn. I want to go through the strategy, and I also want to go through some very, very interesting facts for you as well to help you understand why LinkedIn is as incredible as it is. Don't just take my word for it, take the statistics. So by the end of this masterclass, you're going to understand why LinkedIn, the structure behind the strategy, the power in automation, and also the conversion process. So guys, you ready? Are you ready to learn, to understand how incredibly powerful LinkedIn is? Well, before I even go into the structure and why LinkedIn, I'm going to give you some statistics. For those of you that don't know, LinkedIn has actually been in operation for longer than Facebook. LinkedIn has been around since 2002, so they've been doing business for a long time. Now, although Facebook is the largest database in the world, largest social media platform in the world, LinkedIn isn't doing a shabby job. LinkedIn have got some 575 million users, or million members, should I say, and they've got some 260 million active accounts. So these accounts are actively used on a monthly basis. And you know, LinkedIn has actually more than doubled its capacity in its database in the last 10 years. So a lot of professionals are now really finding that this is a place to go to. And in the B2B arena, I'm going to give you some statistics that are going to blow your mind in how powerful LinkedIn really, really is. So did you know that in terms of generating leads, in the B2B arena, LinkedIn is more than 277 times. So it's 277% more effective than Facebook and Twitter. That's ridiculous, right, guys? 277% more effective than both Facebook and Twitter. In terms of conversions per click, Twitter is 0.69, Facebook is 0.77, and LinkedIn is 2.74%. So that it doesn't sound like a lot, but that is, when something's 277% more effective, it kind of stands to reason that you're going to only really direct your interest in one place, right? In terms of B2B marketing, B2B marketers, 80% suggest that LinkedIn is their go-to, their place for them, their spot where they're actually going to advertise, the spot where they're going to go and market. So if marketers are going there and the credentials in terms of LinkedIn information suggests that they go there, there's clearly a reason why. And here's another incredible statistics. You know that content creators love LinkedIn. I'm going to tell you why. Only 1% of content creators, or people who actually put content out, get their posts seen. Or should I say, no, only 1% of users actually actively put content out. So that's about 3 million people on a monthly basis. But the ridiculous statistic is those 3 million users share 9 billion impressions. That's why content creators absolutely love LinkedIn. That's why content creators see that as the place to actually put your information out, because you've got a chance to get eyes on your information and eyes on your posts. And eyes on your posts in that kind of arena, it's quite quickly going to make you an authority, make you credible in your arena, if you're putting out the right kind of information. Yep, Content creators say it's actually the most effective site out of all social media platforms in terms of where they actually leave their content. So, as I said, there's something to be said in terms of exactly why people use LinkedIn. Ovidus, great to see you. Great to see you. So, as I said, during this masterclass, you're going to learn why LinkedIn, the structure behind the strategy, the power in automation, and also the conversion process. So, let's go ahead and start diving right in. Why LinkedIn? As I said, LinkedIn is the world's largest professional database. I said some 575 million accounts with 260 million active users on a monthly basis. So if you are a professional in the B2B market, this is the place that is absolutely your hub for where you're going to be able to share information with like-minded individuals. If you're looking for lead generation, it's got to be the place, because this is a peer-to-peer platform designed specifically for showcasing you. Your LinkedIn profile is like your shop window. You dress, you design your shop window in the most attractive manner that's going to attract clients, right? But that's exactly the same as LinkedIn. That's exactly what you do on LinkedIn. You put your best foot forward in terms of you help people understand exactly why they should work with you. So you bullet point exactly what you do, how effectively you do it, and why people should actually jump on board and take your advice and work with you. But also you give them the benefits of why they're going to work with you, who you help, how you help them. LinkedIn's incredible because it allows people to endorse you, it allows people to comment on you. So you can also have a list of testimonials. That's why I say LinkedIn is your window, your shop window. It's a place for peer-to-peer expression to allow people to really buy into you and start to realize, is this guy a credible source? Does he really know what he's talking about? As I said, for content creators, they consider LinkedIn to be the best site to post content on, simply because you're generally going to get eyes on your views. So when you're putting your information out there, if you're getting eyes on it, that is, as I said, going to allow you to become the authority in that area, gain credibility. And when you gain credibility, what does that do? That encourages people to trust you. And who do people buy from? People they know, they like, and they trust. So through your posting, they can get to know you. Through your shop window, they can get to know you. And if you're doing the right thing, they're actually going to get to like you. And through your information, you're going to become credible. You're going to demonstrate yourself as an authority, which is going to allow them to trust you. So you build up that factor, which allows people to want to buy from you very, very quickly. But also, let's think about why LinkedIn is so popular. Your audience, in terms of your peer group, they're categorized by title. So how easy is it to really do a search and understand how to find specifically the people that you want to talk to? LinkedIn makes it a piece of cake. LinkedIn makes it very, very impressionable for you to actually go ahead and make that happen. So let me tell you the structure behind the strategy. So, okay, so you've dressed your shop window. You're putting your best foot forward. You're really allowing people to understand why you're able to help the people you're able to help, how you help them, and the benefit of other people coming to work for you. So, as I said, you dressed your shop window. Now you're going to utilize technology. There are a few different ways people can go about this. There's an app called ManyChat. There's another one called Octopus. And what these allow you to do, they allow you to plug in a search. So, say for example, I don't know, you're looking for coaches. You can look for coaches, plus founder, plus CEO, minus assistant. So it's really going to home in just the coaches, not someone who's an assistant to a coach, because they're not potentially your audience. It's going to home in and focus specifically on coaches. This is how you make strategic connections. So once you've created this search, this allows you to build up a database of people that actively fit the description of people you're looking for. So as I said, you then utilize ManyChat, which is going to allow you, or Octopus, which is going to allow you the facility to then connect with these people. This is how you use AI to negate from you having to really be stuck and involved in the whole process. You know, when you can utilize technology and software specifically, what it actually does, it allows you to leverage your time. So I say this frequently, time is the only non-renewable resource. Once you can leverage your time by making sure you're doing things in the best possible manner, what that's going to do is going to make you effective. So you've created your list, you've done a search, and you're now making strategic connections. You utilize the software, you connect this, and what you do, you plug in scripted messages. So you might have a message for when you're reaching out to connect to people, a message that's going to be scripted in a way that's going to entice people to want to connect you. It might be something along the lines of, I'm in the industry and I'm always looking for like-minded people to make connections with. I see you're doing great things in the industry. Let's connect. LinkedIn being such a professional platform, people want to make connections, and they especially want to make connections with people that are in their industry that you can share information with. So you've made a connection. You may well then have another message following on from that. Thanks for the connection. It's really great to now have you in my network. I'm offering a customized blueprint where I can walk you through X, Y, and Z process. Here's a link to schedule your free customized blueprint call. You share a link with them. People can then actually book a call with you. Or you might have another strategy. I've got a number of different strategies that operate through LinkedIn. You know, you might decide to put on a podcast. You're thinking, why would I put on a podcast? Well, a podcast can actually turn into a lead magnet for you. Who do people love talking about the most? Themselves. In most cases, that's very, very true. So if you create a podcast and you invite guests that may be your ideal client to come and showcase their business on your podcast, who's going to refuse? Because that's going to be the opportunity for them to gain publicity, gain exposure. You've created a platform, but you're also having the opportunity to have a conversation with your ideal client. And if during that podcast you ask a question that may peel back a little bit of their pain, but as long as you disguise the question very well, they're going to be open to answer it. That then allows you a topic of conversation after the podcast is completed. So the podcast is completed, you continue down the route of exactly why you asked them this specific question, or you asked them to elaborate on that area of pain. Now you've got a way in. Now you've got an understanding of how you can actually help these people. But as I said, I digress slightly. So let me talk about the power of automation. Oh, I put my teeth in. So you search a specific criteria, and this allows you to create an audience that is perfect for you in terms of your ideal clients. You create the audience, you're very specific because LinkedIn allows you to dial in specifically to the people you want to talk to. Then you set your AI. You let your AI just run wild. Now, because you don't want to violate LinkedIn's their operational procedures, you might only connect with, I don't know, 50 or 60 people on a daily basis, and you might only send maybe 20 or 30 messages. But think about how quickly over time this is going to start building up and creating an incredible database for you. But not only an incredible database, starting to help you create a great pipeline. And as you know, in any business, as long as you've got an effective pipeline, as long as you've got people that are coming into your pipeline, that gives you the opportunity to convert and grow your business. I've already told you, the statistics say that LinkedIn is 277% more powerful at generating leads than either Facebook or Twitter. And these are the reasons why. And when you can automate the process, this is a winning formula. You cannot go far wrong with such an incredible winning formula because you automate the process, which allows you to leverage your time so you can be taking care of other things while your database and your pipeline starting to fill up. Automation through AI, artificial intelligence, as long as it's well constructed, as long as it's well guided, that has to be the way forward, because in a lot of cases, they're actually even going to be more effective than having assistants, because yes, you can do things a lot quicker. Assistants at some point you might need for the personal touch, but if you craft your canned messages, if you craft your pre-scripted messages in the right way, there's no reason why you shouldn't actually be able to get this person to connect with you and get them to jump on a call with you just from the way you structure your messages. Because if you can deliver enough value, if you can deliver enough benefit as to why they should speak to you, then guys, you can't go far wrong. So this kind of brings me on to, as I said, the conversion process. So when a conversation, when a connection actually decides they're going to go ahead and respond, this is where you just have a conversation. You just talk to people. You get an understanding as to, what does that person do? How long have they been in business? How effective have they been? And right about now, I suppose the topic of conversation for a lot of people is, how has COVID-19 affected your business? Some people, depending on their business, have actually flourished during this time, where others have found it a lot more difficult and they haven't been able to thrive. In fact, a lot of people, as you know, aren't going to be able to go back to a job, but you can hold these conversations to find out exactly where your particular prospect is standing. When you find out a person's situation, when you find out a person's position, do you agree that gives you leverage? That gives you leverage because you understand how you can now help them. Give me a yes in the chat box if you agree that when you understand someone's position, that gives you leverage. And the reason why I simply say this is because what happens there is, if I understand your pain, I can formulate a solution in my mind. But people aren't only motivated by pain. They're motivated by one of two things. They're motivated by pain, and they're also motivated by pleasure. Thank you. So when someone's motivated by pain and pleasure, you understand what their pain is. You get them to give you an illustration, draw a picture, talk to you, help you to understand what their ideal outcome is, exactly where they're focused on taking their business, and what their business would look like, what their situation would look like if they achieve their ideal outcome. Then you amplify it. You make the ideal outcome even bigger, even more beautiful. So you help them understand that, yeah, you might have been heading here, but how about with a couple of tweaks and a couple of changes, we actually get you thinking about here. When you can expand and explode someone's ideal outcome, it makes it even more desirable. Insert you at that point where you start talking solution. You start talking how you can help them get from where they are to where they want to be. How you can help them with this whole conversion process. How you can help them shift and move from where they are to where they want to be. Because ultimately, everyone is usually in a business to progress, to excel, to give them that freedom, that time freedom, that location freedom, that financial freedom, whatever it is for them. But they're in business to do better. So if you can provide a solution, if you can provide something that's going to give them a vehicle as to how they're going to get there, do you think you're going to be valuable? So as I said, so far, guys, it's really been quite simple how you implement this structure, how you implement this process, how you implement this strategy. And with LinkedIn being so effective for professional users, if you're not using LinkedIn, you're absolutely missing a trick already. Now, I don't think a lot of people have realized exactly how powerful LinkedIn is. Well, with the fact that it's got a meager comparison users in terms, when you compare that to Facebook, that certainly tells you that not everyone has realized exactly how powerful this is. Now, when you communicate with people, I want you to remember, you're doing one thing. You're communicating to understand, not to be understood. You're communicating to understand that person's dilemma, that person's situation, for you to really be able to tap in and understand how you can help them. And when you understand that person's situation, then what do? You go full steam ahead, adding value, adding value, 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 value. At this point, you're not even talking about solution or selling. You're just adding value. And the more value you add, do you think that's going to entice them to want to have a discussion with you? Of course it is. And if they have a discussion and you are credible and you've got a worthwhile solution and you can make a change, you can help them shift in their life, how likely is it that they're going to want to do business with you? Well, I'd say on the scale of 1 to 10, you're definitely at least a 7 or 8. Then it comes down to resources, whether or not they have got the resources to make the investment to work with you. But I'll tell you one thing, guys. In a lot of instances, price is never the issue. So if you provide enough value, most people will actually define the resources, because I've heard this from so many people in so many different situations. It's never a lack of resources. It's only ever a lack of resourcefulness. So if you can demonstrate to someone that there's enough value in them speaking with you, if you can help them understand that you can definitely change the situation, you can definitely provide a solution for them, it's up to them to understand how badly they want to change the situation. And when they really start to dig into and understand how badly they want to change their situation, when you put a spotlight on what changing their situation could potentially look like, do you think they're going to have a level of urgency to want to implement that change? Especially if you help them understand that, okay, so you said that you're struggling with leads, for example. What's your contingency plan? What's your backup plan if you don't change what you're doing? Oh, well, I haven't actually got one. Okay. So who's reliant on you making this business a success? Oh, my family, my employees. And I don't really want to continue, but help me understand. What would happen if your business isn't a success? What would happen if your business, God forbid, fails? Eyes wide open, because they may lose their house. Their house might be reliant on it. Their employees are going to be out of a job. And if they're a leader that really buys into delivering success and offering value to their employees, and certainly their breadwinner, they want to maintain their family, this now has given them a sense of urgency. There's a reason why they absolutely have to make it work. So do you think now that you've given them that sense of urgency, if you offer enough value, do you think they're now going to find the resources, whatever it may take? Are they actually going to make it happen regardless? Yes, sir. They're absolutely going to make it happen. Simply because you've shown them what could possibly happen if they don't change what they're currently doing. But as I said, this is all possible through the incredible platform called LinkedIn. So once you give value, I want you to do one thing. I want you to be very, very clear about your objective. Because at this stage, when you're connecting with people on LinkedIn, your objective isn't to sell. Your objective is simply to get them on the phone. So let's break this down. Let's understand what the real strategy is here. You understand why LinkedIn. We've broken it down in a number of key areas. It's the world's largest professional platform. It's a peer-to-peer platform that allows you to showcase your talents. Your audience is categorized by title. It gives you the opportunity to create authority and credibility. And when I say it gives you the opportunity to create authority and credibility, just like Facebook, you can actually create a group. You can invite people into your group and you can give them tons and tons and tons of value. And just like Facebook, if you only put information on your page, there's only a percentage of your connections that actually see that. However, when you put information in your group, you control that. Every person in your group now has the ability to see your content. It doesn't necessarily mean they're all going to engage, but every person you invite in your group has the ability to see your content. So once again, you now control your authority. You control how much credibility you create just by the value that you deliver in your group. So I've then explained to you the structure behind the strategy. You address your shop window. You now utilize technology. Would that be ManyChat? Would that be Octopus? You choose something, or WeConnect. There is a number of different platforms that will allow the AI to go out and do the work for you. You choose whatever you believe is going to work the best for you, whatever's going to be the most appropriate. You choose that. I'm not here to promote any particular product, so you go ahead and you make the choice that suits you best. And then you can actually make strategic connections. You can run the search criteria that's going to fit your specific audience. Once you've fit your specific audience, you utilize the AI, you utilize the automation, but remember, don't overstretch it. Because if you make too many connection requests, if you send too many messages, LinkedIn will temporarily suspend your account. And the reason they will suspend your account is because, as far as they're concerned, what you're doing will then contravene community guidelines. So you have to be very careful. As I said, between 50 and 60 connections, I would suggest no more than 20 or 30 messages on a daily basis. But you can also, through these AI, you can actually start endorsing other people as well. And through endorsing other people, do you think you start getting put on their radar? Because they're noticing, well, I just got endorsed by Avitas. Avitas just endorsed me. I wonder why she endorsed me. Let me take a look at her profile. And the beautiful thing about LinkedIn, you can see when someone looks at your profile. You can check them out. Okay, is this an ideal client for me? Absolutely. Do they fit the criteria I'm looking for? Absolutely. So the power of automation is that you can search specific criteria and you can get the AI to go ahead and go sprinting off and do the work for you. That way you get to leverage your time. You get to leverage your time on more effective tasks. And not to say this isn't effective, because this is very effective and very useful. But you can now focus on speaking to the people that are booking appointments with you. So you turn your activity into cash revenue generating activity. That's what you focus on. You allow the AI to do the job of filling your pipeline. You now speak to the people who are filling your pipeline. And then the conversion process is quite simple. When you start speaking to these people, remember they're another human being just like you. Have a conversation. Speak to them about issues or situations they're going to want to speak about. Great to have you as a connection. How's business for you? Talk to them about current situations. COVID, how's it affected your business? You know, you can really make sure you interact on a very high level. And once you interact on a high level, once you give people value, you can then suggest there's a reason why they're coming on a call with you. And once you persuade someone to come on a call with you, that's your objective complete. That's exactly what you wanted to do. So guys, I hope you've received a huge amount of value in today's masterclass. I hope you've got a great understanding as to not only why LinkedIn is the #1 form of lead generation in terms of social media when it comes to the B2B arena, but why LinkedIn is still so untapped. It is the place that content creators put over and above everybody else. So guys, utilize LinkedIn, put this strategy into play, and let me know once you put the strategy into play how effective it is for you. Let me know if it's making any differences. And if you want to know more, when you watch this video, tap interested. And I'll reach out to you. I'll get one of my team to reach out to you. And we can then have a conversation and I can help you understand how you move from where you are to where you want to be. I can help you understand how you create more engagement, how you create a packed pipeline, and how you move your business to the very next level. But guys, the one thing I want you to remember, everything's a step-by-step process. And what do I mean by that? All can and will be achieved one step at a time. I am committed to delivering value for you. The question I always ask is, how committed are you to yourself? On that note, have an incredible day. Go out and win. I'm already looking forward to speaking to you, but I'll be back here on the same channel on Thursday. Guys, thank you for attending. And I'm looking forward to speaking to you all very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.